Alright, I'm doing a video on passive rotations from my NA Cup where I was on 100 ping. So I'm just going to stop playing. I can't really use the overlay thing, but I'll just sort of show you what I did and how I ended up rotating. Let me put over these things. Okay, I'll try making this on 10 minutes, but it probably will go over. So what I've got here is 13 left. I'm just kind of chilling. I've got 100 ping, so I don't really want to take mid-game fights. So I've got 0 kills. And I basically use these NA sessions as an entire practice event for me practicing my in-game rotates and stuff. So what I did there was I just waited on the rift on the edge of zone. The rift was slightly out of zone. I don't want to take a ticker zone, so I just waited and grabbed it. And I've got myself in a really good position on the edge of this mountain. And I'll just show you quickly how can I do this? Turn free. How I build my turtle. So if I want to make myself as small as possible, so this is how I edit my turtle box. Is so if somebody was trying to explode me, there's nothing where the explode can catch on. If you leave the pyramid normally, the explode could catch on somewhere. Basically I just go AFK for like 5 minutes and don't really do anything. I'm gonna skip forward to a bit of action. So I get north zone. This is the last zone before moving. With 10 left, just got placement points. I mean, if you don't know how to get the placement points, or you struggle with getting pins because the lobbies get really difficult, this is a pretty useful guide. So I'm just kind of really chilling. Probably my damage to players this game has been like 10 or something, like something really ridiculous. And I sort of get blessed here. I get height because everybody else has gone down the mountain, and the zone sort of goes back into Haunted along the mountains. I'm gonna try reusing my old builds, as well as just like being extremely passive. So I sort of get myself in a position where I can third-person peek at the pyramid. I see this player looking over, and I get a tag on him, and I go back. That's honestly probably the first bit of damage I did to a player this game, and I'm just strictly practicing for like endgame rotates here with the 1500 mat cap, and I had no mobility as well. So you've always got to practice no mobility. So right now I'm just really. I wall off my side here on the left, and I try focusing this guy into Rifts to go in, the one I was going to look at. I catch this guy looking out for guard. I hit him really two nice shots as he jumps over and tries building. I just sort of build down the mountain into Haunted. Right now I go on the left here. This left side's like completely free for me to use, and it allows me to get in a decent spot. I kind of don't see this guy high ground, so I get tagged a little bit. I get in zone completely like this and heal up. I'm in a super good spot. This is a good tip if you need to conserve mats, right? Is if you build out a 1x1, build it like that with 2 pyramids instead of 2 floors, just so you can go either you have the choice of going upwards easily, and also the choice of editing the pyramids. I get kind of caught in zone here because the 100 ping on editing is a bit rough, and I drop down low ground. Pretty good on low ground right here, but I decided to go up whenever because there's a guy close to me in the main building. I get pressure a little bit and decide to use just old player builds to rotate. I get a guy in the box. This is where he goes into his old builds and the wall's not covered, so I can just get the wall. I try going for an edit play, but he's able to reverse his ramp. Right here, he reverses his ramp pretty nicely, so I just leave it. Honestly, I don't need to aggress. Like, I don't get anything from that kill really. Looking for a shot on people in zone. I realised this time in zone where people are all like clogged up trying to waterfall down and stuff, or fighting for high. This is a good time for me to get in zone, so I get pretty deeply in. So I kind of scuff. I didn't realise I couldn't build the wall on that thing, so I'm taking a tag for it, and I have to heal up. I get headshotted, so I just heal up. Alright, now I just edit through. I'm playing no ground. Everybody's above me, so I decide to just keep building in for myself, and then keeping them all behind me in zone, which allows me to keep eyes on all of them. There's no one who's like not in where I can see. It's a mistake here. I ended up going out without building completely to cover myself. I was trying to save a bit of mats while they were fighting, but there's 3 of them. I heal up again. This frat guy was really low. Honestly, the better play here was come drinking the big box to hold for his edit because Storm was pressuring him. This guy comes down, and it's sort of an awkward exchange. We both end up trading each other. This Frosty Japan, basically, they all just drop down one by one and kill each other. And I put in a bad spot where I haven't killed anybody, I haven't got any of my zone health, I haven't got any health back. This guy does a pretty decent knockdown, resets me. I start playing passive just by going on the mats, playing low ground right here. I take the time, I'm forward in zone here just to heal up. I mean, if the zone did go to an extended fight. Pretty unfortunate. Right here, this is a pretty good play. As he's falling, you see something like players like Mr. Savage or Mitro or something do this. As they're falling, they'll hit the wall or they'll deagle the wall. And this guy ends up getting replaced. Also, the fact that he's got better pain than me helps. I get a tag on him, so I run around. I get another tag on him. I'm pretty sure I ran out of mats, and I started SMGing him, got down to 20 HP, and ended up he cleans me out. It's a pretty good play for him. Oh. Right here, this is a really good play. It's just him hitting the walls. He comes down, allows me no time to react. He gets a really clean edit shot on him. And I'm out of mats and sort of lose the 50-50. I've got another replay quick of I think this is a win. Just a 1-kill win. So if you're trying to go for placement points, this is essentially what you've got to do. You've got to like play entirely passive, just rotate, try not to lose your shield, and you can honestly get kills end game. If you're fortunate. That game I only got 1 kill in game. A bit of a waste of time, but what am I doing here? Oh, this is a pretty clean game. So we've got 8 left on circles around Tilted, between Tilted and Salty. Is it not doing gameplay? I'll do the seconds again quickly. Alright. Right here, I'm using the door edit. So I've talked about this in the fast. The door sort of tightens your your line of sights coming in, and also allows you to run peaks. So right here, I'm just running peeking people. I get a zone that's west towards Tilted, towards all these mountain ranges as well. You've got to always look at the elevation changes on the map. So here it goes over around 2 hills. It's really awkward. Get a few tags on that guy. It sort of pressures him into stopping and allows me to build straight towards him. The fact that I pressured that guy allowed somebody else to pressure him. I'll go back a second. The fact that I pressured this guy means he's forced to drop down because he's lost all his shield. And allows me to get this pretty clean rotate into this build. Right here I'm just relaxing, reloading. Doesn't even show what I'm shooting at. I'm shooting at a zipliner there. And I'm tagging him a little bit. And I drop down. So right here, all these players are congested. Was it third person? Yeah. All these players are congested over here. They've all gone up the mountain. They're thinking we can just go over this mountain. They haven't realised that this side of the zone, coming up the valley and then around the mountain, is completely free. So that's the rotate I choose to do. And I basically have a completely free rotation here. There's 5 of the players in a really small endgame circle, and I don't even get shot at. I'm still taking shots at people. I've got this big mountain just blocking all of my lines of sight coming towards me, which allows me to just get up here in a good position, where I really don't have to do anything. And this is all on 100 pixels, so I'm like in a position where I don't actually have to take a fight or anything. I'm just taking pot shots here. I get some northwest towards Tilted. I immediately pre-rotate. I've still got the mountain covering my lines of sight. I know they're fighting. They've got an RPG. This is what I do. I start pressuring up. See, I'm not right here. This the intention of my shots here with the Deagle and Suppress Scar. It's not to try and kill them, because they're not going to die from the fall to the mountain. It's to try to make them fight and pressure them into fighting. Which is sort of what ends up happening. I tag that guy, the other one is forced to go down, and they just sort of end up jumping on top of each other. This entire time they're fighting, I'm just sitting here watching them fight. And it allows me a free 150 headshot onto this guy. He's forced to build up. I break him out and hit him with a low gun shot as he falls down. Which is pretty clean.